field in the first. And for Wade, when it comes to being clutch, a lot of it is experience. I mean, it's not just during the playoffs. He knows when to step up in the fourth quarter during the regular season. Very productive in the fourth quarter from a scoring standpoint.
Paul kicks to Smith, tries it from 9. That one wide left. Bulls trail by 11. George with the ball. He's picked up by Paul. Fires from the wing. And again, Chicago. No good.
Wade averaged 7 points in the fourth quarter of last season. That was third most in the NBA. A big part of it is how he can create his own shot. When the game is on the line, you want him on the floor with the ball in hand.
From deep, George. But they'll get another chance. Here's Cousins, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Just a terrific effort on the offensive glass. That's how they're going to cut into this lead.
And Greg, a dunk like that is sure to give them a spark.
Which is a spark they desperately need. Kevin, they've got to ramp up the intensity.
So for the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan comes in for Blake Griffin. And it's Crawford in for Wesley Johnson. And the Bulls making a change also. Davis is checked in. Now here's Crawford. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Smith missing.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And George, here we go. Paul with the steal.
A chance here to go 2 for 1.
Boy, they've got to ramp up the speed and make it happen in a hurry.
About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Here's Cousins.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Had a success rate from the line last year of about 78%.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Pierce is checked in for Smith. Kobe comes in for T. And it's Miracle Man in for Paul. Then for the Bulls. Insanity, he's checked in for Paul George. Money comes in for Dwayne Wade. And Steph Curry is subbed in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Miracle Man. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
The Clippers have missed both free throws they've attempted tonight. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Steady work at the free throw line. Just what we're used to seeing out of him.
And we finished one.
Kobe, what encourages you in what you've seen from the team's offense?
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. The biggest lead of the quarter was only 3. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Blake Griffin really making a difference here.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Miracle Man is out there with T, and it's Pierce in at the small forward. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Doc Rivers. A nice shot by Griffin. Last season, DeAndre Jordan was as efficient as it gets on offense. A dunking machine, we know for sure. His defense is maybe the best individually at the rim in the league. He covers a lot of area.
He does. And Jordan did have almost all of his points come right at the rim. And you talked about that efficiency. How about 71% field goal percentage?
So it's the Clippers now. following the three-point attempt by Anthony Davis. Here's Miracle Man, guarded by Kerr. 5 to shoot. The Clippers need to get off a shot, and that one's good. And the Clippers lead by 14.
And really, he's just done a great job of finding. The open man every trip down.
Boy, it sure has seemed as though he's done it every time. It's been an awesome display of passing for him today.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Josh Smith, he's checked in for Griffin. Crawford comes in for Pierce. And Kobe is subbed in for Durant. Clippers leading by 12. Right around a minute and a half played here in the third quarter. Screen by Smith. Here's Miracle Man. He's got 7, just 5 to shoot. Shot is off.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Money passes to Lillard. Outside Teague. It's stolen by Smith. Taken away by Anthony. The 3 ball. It's hauled in by Jamal Crawford.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly, eventually pulled it together, and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
And Jordan gets it to go.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Bulls trail by 14. Here's Lillard. Crawford with the rebound.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
Now here's Crawford. After the miss from Damian Lillard. Shot clock at 5. Shoots. And the shot no good, a bit short.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack. Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Pierce comes in for Josh Smith. And Chris Paul subbed in for Jamal Crawford. Here's Money. Kicks it to Anthony. And stolen by Jordan. Here's Miracle Man. And it's sent back by Jordan. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Griffin's checked in for Los Angeles. T comes in for Miracle Man. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Chicago. Paul goes in and stolen by Cousins. 17-foot shot on the way. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Russell Westbrook. 1:12 left in the third.
And who could forget the tear that Westbrook went on last season? I mean, after the All-Star break, it was just triple-double after triple-double for him.
Now here's Paul. Paul George with the steal. Poked away and taken away by Paul. Outside Griffin. Goes up, and it's sent back by George. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. 6 points for Jordan. And here's Westbrook. Greg, for Westbrook, as you were talking about him, the triple-double stretch included 4 in a row. He had 6 triple-doubles, Clark, in 8 games. He was sensational.
Yeah, it really was, Kevin. And what's even more amazing was that he was very close to a triple-double, even on the nights he didn't get one. Man, he's a guy who showed you what it means to carry a team.
And Chicago has possession after the basket by Los Angeles. Here's Durant, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And that's now 9 points for T. Bulls trail by 15. Here's George. Oh!
Rising up and hammering it home. That could be just what they need to pick their energy up.
Wow, it definitely got the guys on the bench on their feet. I'll say that for man. Oh, man, was that fun.
And no doubt about it, guys. That's one of those plays that will pick up his teammates. A lot of times a play like that is just what you need to get the adrenaline flow for your team.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. They've got Insanity. DeMarcus Cousins out there with Anthony Davis. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Westbrook in at the 2-guard.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Ball against Curry. Screen by Cousins. Out. Side Curry. Plenty of space. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
And that's a great piece of work to get to the hoop there. Just tore the D to shreds.
Now here's Durant from deep three-point range. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Over to the wing. Here's Poland. And the rejection by Smith. Westbrook with the steal. And taken away by Paul. And pushing it up. Here's the Clippers. Durant's running. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5. Guys take now on the hustle stats for Los Angeles.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped.
Chicago calls timeout.
If you look at Chris Paul, you're looking at a guy who really is the standard bearer of point guards. I mean, he can pass, he can score, he plays great defense. He also competes. But what makes him the floor general that all others are measured against, really the instincts and leadership.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He didn't exactly take it easy on them, saying, how much do you want it? Don't tell me. Show me out there. We have to play better. We have to play harder if we're going to come back. Guys?
Thanks again, Doris. Going back to Chris Paul, if you could build a point guard from scratch, Clark, he might be the model.
Yeah, I tell you what, you could do much worse than him, that's for sure. One of the very best. 6 times he's led the NBA in steals. Just an incredible all-around player. One of the greatest team leaders, I think, in the history of the league as well.
Over the last 2 seasons, he's led the league in assists. You're right. 6 to shoot. It's Davis with the drive. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop chop there with that one hand tomahawk slam?
We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Anthony against Stevenson. Anthony dishes to Davis. Stolen by Stevenson. Here's Miracle Man. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
And the technical free throw is good. And here is Los Angeles now. For 3. Here's Griffin. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. Here's Anthony. Passes to George. The drive by Anthony. Misses from close range. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls, Clark, had playoff experience prior to their postseason run the season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, 2-time champion in the locker room, big. as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Clippers.
You know, Clark, their big advantage was points in the paint.
Well, they pounded that ball inside, Kevin, and operated down low. It worked for them consistently.
And so many key players that you could point to tonight, but in particular, a great game for Miracle Man. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash open.
Teague on the double team. Miracle Man, the pass to Prigioni. Here's Miracle Man. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Shoots from 12. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Anthony drives in. T-Wade on the wing. He's guarded by Johnson. Feeds to Teague. He kicks it to Davis. And here's Anthony from the arc. And the rebound goes to Griffin. Here's Miracle Man. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. He takes it up and lays it in.
And they feel good about this win tonight, guys, defending their home court.
I agree. Job well done. They gave these fans